So there's this gal at work who's like so rude. She hates people's complicated orders, calls security all the time. Once I ordered a shake and she was all like, "You're having a Coke." Rude. Greetings, drones, peons, and empty suits. This is Trace for DNews, and your rudeness is really making it hard to work here. A new study in the Journal of Applied Psychology found workplace rudeness is a contagious behavior. With only a single incident, rudeness can spread through a workplace like a virus. Anyone can be a carrier, and anyone can start the cycle. Humans are social beings, and since we're used to living in social groups, emotions and behaviors can be contagious. We've discussed this before. In a publication from the Association for Psychological Science, a preeminent expert on emotional contagions, Dr. Elaine Hatfield, wrote, "If we feel irritated at a client, the client is irritated at us, or something else." This rabbit hole goes deep. Doctors are affected by the emotions of their patients. Laughing people cause other people to laugh. It's almost in a monkey see, monkey do kind of way, Dr. Hatfield said. Our emotions then bleed into our actions too. When sitting in a sports bar, you'll likely pick up the emotion of excited fans and unconsciously mimic it, even if you couldn't care less, which is how a tiny bit of rudeness can go a long way. Participants of the rudeness study were shown a video of people being rude, then asked to assess a neutral email. Those who'd experienced rudeness projected rudeness onto their response. Separately, in interviews, if people felt they'd been treated rudely, they were rated as rude in future interviews with others. And it doesn't stop there. The researchers found contagious rudeness can last a week, growing in complexity and creating first and second order consequences. Second-order consequences are supremely complicated mathematical equations, but there is a simple example. David fells Goliath, and that has an effect on Goliath's army. Cause and effect. His army will then either retreat or attack with a vengeance. That decision starts another round of cause and effect, or in other words, a second-order consequence. To apply this to workplace rudeness, a person being rude causes someone else to be rude, which then causes someone else to be rude, and another round of rudeness, and a ripple of rudeness spreads throughout the workplace. That single incident changes how you interpret the world, says the lead author of the study. And the interpretation affects everything about the workplace. According to a study in Biomed Research International, 75% of people have been subjected to workplace rudeness 1 to 2 times a year. They found workplace incivility can negatively affect sleep, job satisfaction, well-being, and turnover. But for some reason, they also found that those who behave rudely in the workplace experience stronger social support, reinforcing bad behavior and keeping the cycle going. Luckily, though, there is a solution: awareness. By being mindful of our interactions with others and calling out rudeness when it happens, we can stop the rudeness cycle before it spreads. And though it might seem harmless, it can actually be pretty harmful. So the rude stops here. We should all endeavor to stop the cycle of rudeness, but if you haven't watched Amy and I on Science Channel, Rude, every weeknight at 9 p.m. Science Channel shows the DNews Minute, an original story from Science News just for Science Channel. I'm super excited about this, so if you like the show here online, please go watch it on TV too, and tell your friends. You can let me know what you think over on Twitter at Trace Dominguez. Do you have strategies on how to be mindful in the workplace? I have a lamp that reminds me not to screw anything up. I turn it on every morning. Some people use sticky notes though. What do you do? Tell us in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. We'll see you next time on DNews.